Hi you guys, welcome to my series of business tips for small handmade businesses. Whether you are new to the handmade world or whether you've been around for a while, I'm going to give you some tips to hopefully make your business a success. For those of you who haven't met me before, I'm Nicole and I am the owner of The Little Craft House. Now, I've been part of the handmade industry for well over 20 years now, making and selling things of all sorts. So I thought I'd put my experience to use and try and hopefully teach you guys a thing or two. So you've been working your butt off, making loads of goodies, and you're hoping to be able to sell them to make a few extra dollars, maybe a bit of pocket money, maybe money to reinvest in more supplies to make more things. So you're wondering where to start? I've got all the answers, so stick around and we're going to talk it through. Markets are a fantastic way for getting your name out there, networking, getting customer feedback, and getting some experience. Even on those days when you don't sell anything, and unfortunately this happens, take note and remember all the good things. Here in Perth, we have no shortage for good markets to attend. When starting out, I recommend you look for a market that you've heard of, someone who has a bit of a name in the market world. School fetes and street festivals are always good too, as they always seem to pull a crowd. Don't forget to factor the costs of markets into your goods. Market fees can range anywhere from $10 to thousands of dollars. These might seem a little ridiculous, but something I've learnt along the way is that the more the fees are, generally the more you get. The pricier ones tend to be in better locations with more foot traffic. Organisers are usually also providing toilet hire, security, advertising, ATMs, entertainment, etc. I like to try to visit a market as a customer before becoming a stallholder, just to work out if it's my type of market before I commit the dollars. Your next option is to sell online. This is perfect if you're not a people person and you don't have the time to dedicate to a market. Online also has the potential to reach far more people who may be looking for your exact item. Keep in mind there will still be fees with online selling, so just research your options first and find out which one is going to work best for you. Okay, if you're just getting started out with online selling, I highly recommend starting out with a store on something such as Etsy. Now, Etsy is my preferred store for my handmade goods. We have our own website for the Little Craft House, the craft supplies. That's through Shopify. However, I think that when you're starting out with your handmade goods, something such as Etsy is really good. Now, my way of thinking is when you start out with on Etsy, then someone from wherever in the world, and now you can set it to being location specific. If you only want to sell within Australia, you can set that. But anyone can search, say, handmade goods. They can search handmade earrings. They might search scrunchies, anything like that, and your store will pop up. Your items will come up. Whereas if you start your own e-commerce store, unless you're out there fully advertising and letting people know you exist, then nobody's going to be able to find you. So I like to have a company such as Etsy to start with, because that way you can start building your customer following, you can start those sales, and then once you build your following, build your customers up, then you can move to your own e-commerce store if you want. Another option that's out there that is quite well known is eBay. However, I don't find eBay particularly successful for handmade goods. I personally have not had success on there. I find that eBay is more for the mass produced and people wanting a bargain. So I prefer to stick to the more dedicated handmade sites rather than eBay. Next up is Facebook and Instagram. Both of these are constantly evolving. So there's so many new features and things happening all the time on there. So you've got things like the marketplace, you've got shops, you've got all sorts of things. Research what's happening at the time that you're planning on listing, because as I say, these are forever evolving, and so things change so frequently. However, there are lots of groups and things on Facebook that you can be part of. There's lots of ways to promote your sales, both paid and unpaid. And yeah, it is a great way of getting out there, getting your name seen, and making sales too. And finally, we come to the postage and packaging of our online goods. Now I'm going to do a tutorial dedicated solely to packaging your handmade goods, but for now I'm just going to talk about the postage element. So I highly recommend that you visit your local post office with a selection of your goods, say the bulkiest, the largest, the smallest and the lightest, to research those postage charges before your item sells. Many of us have been in that situation before where the postage charges surprise us. You also need to work out which way will best package your product to protect it, because the last thing you want is for it to be damaged. Don't forget to either include these postage and packaging charges in the price of your goods, otherwise you can set a separate postage charge for the customer to pay. And so that is the basics of selling your handmade goods. I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful. And so it's time for you to get making, get listing, and get selling. Good luck. If you've enjoyed today's tutorial, please like and subscribe my channel. I've got lots more small business tips for handmade business owners coming up over the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for those, and I hope to see you again. Bye.